Oh, actually, there's a heat wave here, so for England it's a heat wave, so it's extremely hot for me. So I'm just gonna put on a more appropriate outfit for this video because I'm wearing like a sports bra right now. 1 minute. More appropriate. Yeah, so I just wanted to hop on here because I'm planning another hike. Nowhere near anything as epic and amazing as the Appalachian Trail. And we all know how that turned out for me. not the healthiest trail for me. But yeah, I'm gonna go and hike in Scotland to do the West Highland Way, which is a 96-mile hike from a place called Milgarvey, I believe it's pronounced, although it's spelled Milgarvey. Milgavie, Milgarvey, but it's pronounced Milgai, which is just outside of Glasgow. And that will be walking up for 96 miles to the west coast of Scotland to a place called Fort William. I'm going to go past a couple of lochs, one being Loch Lomond. So I'm so excited. I'm really excited to get back out and about, especially with everything that's been going on. Like, I feel like I've been so cooped up in my house. I'm just raring to get back out. So I'm probably going to go out in the next weekish. But yeah, so I wanted to tell you that, if you give a crap, but I don't have many hugely hikey people that will like get excited about this kind of thing. And secondly, I have loads of new equipment which I just wanted to like get excited about. I don't know if well, I know there's loads of equipment geeks around, so basically what I've done is I've upgraded some of my stuff, one of which you might know about anyway if you followed my videos and things when I was on the AT. So do you know what, I'm just gonna get right to it and just start sort of going through some of the things I've upgraded. Yeah, oh, by the way, I've got a laptop just here because I'm just like fact checking some things as I go along, because I also need to give weights in like ounces and kilos and grams, so pounds and ounces and kilos and grams. Right, where's that in there? Yeah, so number one is this, my Osprey Aura AG 50-litre pack, which I'm never going to get rid of this because it is a fantastic pack in so many ways, mainly the wearability and the comfort of the thing, and the air that goes down your back and all that kind of stuff. But it's so heavy, so heavy. So let's see. I'll try and act like I know what I'm talking about. Yeah, so the Osprey Aura weighs 4 pounds without anything in it, which is 1.8, but 1.8 kilos. That's so heavy when you're walking for long distances. Also, it is like with water it sucks up all the water it can find. It's like a sponge. So I got a Z-Pax, which is just silly light. I don't have hip pockets because what happened when I was out on the AT and I just decided to get a lighter pack while I was out there was obviously Z-Packs usually have quite a long waiting time, like 4 to 5 weeks, but they also have this like bargain bag on their website of stock that they've already made up, and maybe it's been cancelled for whatever reason, the person doesn't want to buy it anymore and they've made it up. So this Arc Hall Scout 50 litres was in the bargain bag, but it didn't have hip belt pockets with it at the time, and I didn't want to wait 5 weeks for hip belt pockets, so I just left it and bought it. So compared to £4, this is 21.2 ounces, which is 601 grams. Woo! Woo! So as you can see, I'm like upgrading but lightening up. So that's my number one. Number two upgrade, I don't think it's necessarily a lighter choice, but it is my down jacket. So when I was on the AT, I was hiking with this, which, I mean, a couple of people said they'd heard of the brand before. It's just called 32 Degrees, which I'm not really sure if it's a known brand. Basically, it was a TK, TJ, Max kind of jobby. Cost me like £30. It was a bargain basement jacket, essentially. But I've now got a Rab. I mean, it's still really light. I mean, the Rab is like minimally heavier, and the Rab also has a hood. My other puffy didn't have a hood, so that was a bit of a pain in the arse, to be honest. This is a Rab Microlight Alpine jacket, and I went up to a size 12 because they're super tight. 750 fill power, so that excites me because it's 150 more fill power than this old puffy. So there's another upgrade. What else have I done? So come in. When I went out on the AT, I decided to buy a hammock, a Hennessy hammock. I've never slept in a hammock before. In fact, the only time I've ever been in a hammock before that really was maybe this one time when I was at my friend's house when I was about 7, and they had one of those like string hammocks in the garden, and I sat in it and I fell off and smacked the back of my head. So I don't know what made me get this hammock. I don't know what it was. I don't know what possessed me. I think I was like, oh, it's gonna be so beautiful, it's swinging amongst the trees. I sleep pretty cold anyway, and I didn't get an underquilt. I don't know, honestly. I didn't get an underquilt because the hammock already weighed, fact checking more than Fox News, the hammock weighed like £4 on its own. So 1 point, Is that right? Yeah, it weighed like 1.5 to 1.8 kilos, because this doesn't include the straps that go around the, around the tree in the weight. So that's extremely heavy. That is just so I had my Osprey, which weighed 4 pounds just before you even got any gear in it whatsoever. And then I had this freaking hammock that weighed 4 pounds. Oh, and then I decided that I was gonna have oh, sorry, my eyelashes are falling out. Then I decided that I was gonna just, like, for ease, use a carabiner, and you know what I mean. The word has left me. No, that is a carabiner. That's a carabiner clip, and rappel rings to, do the setup of my hammock. I decided that was going to be way easier for me, so I should carry those as well. They're freaking so heavy. I think those are like a pound or something in themselves. So like this setup was monstrously heavy. So yeah, the hammock is long gone. I mean, I got rid of that bad boy as soon as I got back from the AT, because I couldn't stand the sight of it. I was freezing in it. I was not experienced in setting it up. I was crap at doing drip lines, so it was like dripping inside of the hammock and running down and making my sleeping bag wet. I couldn't arrange myself properly inside of it because it was a bottom entrance, so I was like shimmying up, and then my sleeping pad was like flying all over the place, and then the wind. And something about the Hennessy hammocks as well, like they're so irritating that the fly is just not quite big enough, because they're at this kind of diamond shape. The rain would just slip down if it was blowing at an angle. You had to set it up perfectly, and with my lack of experience, it was just, it was a nightmare. So anyway, that's gone. What I instead bought, I was looking at some tents. My number one tents that I wanted, 1 and 2, can't have two number ones. So my number 1 and 2 tents that I did want was, first of all, I was going to go for a Nemo Hornet, because I really like the idea of having side entrances. Had a lot of great feedback about the Nemo Hornet. Went online, was just about to buy, thought I'll do a couple more YouTube tutorials, and I saw that a few of the latest models, like towards the end of 2018 and into 2019, people had noticed that there had been some the waterproofing on the basin was just not great. Maybe they changed their material, or I don't know, there was just something about that people said, oh crap, it's leaking. Like the fly's okay, but when the rain's really hammering down and you're getting that like splashback onto the basin, it was not doing great. And also with the Hornet, they have that half fly at the back to, I assume, to save weight, but the half fly, because it has a little lip, it was kind of collecting water and just like slapping itself against the tent, and water was just pouring in through the netting. If you can visualize that, it makes sense to me. So here's the netting, here's the back of the tent with the lip, it's just kind of filling with water and just, and then the water's coming in like so I thought, no, that sounds like an awful idea. I'm not going to go with that, especially because it rains so much in this country. I'm not doing desert camping or anything like that. So then, as a happy medium, I thought I'm going to go for the Nemo Hornet, potentially go for the Nemo Hornet Elite. The fly doesn't have the half bit at the back, it goes all the way down, and I thought, yes, I've nailed it, this is perfect. I was like ready to get it, and then I realized that no one really stocks Nemo. That particular model was so difficult to find. It was like sold out everywhere, other than this company called, I think it's Ultralight Gear.co.uk, and I was like, yes, I've got it. It was £100 more than what it can be bought for in the US, and I just thought, well, you're taking the piss. So then I was like, right, okay, let's have a rethink about this. I was going to go for then the Big Agnes Copper Spur, but I was going to go for it's like the elite version of it. That wasn't too much more expensive to get here, but it's still, you know, a hefty investment. So I was getting desperate. Like, I was on page 15 of Google. You know, you don't go past page 1 unless you're desperate. I was on 15. It was nuts. I had 1,000 YouTube videos open, 1,000 review sites comparing all of these tents. I was like, oh my god, do I just pay this extra money to get the Nemo Hornet Elite? Do I just go with the Big Agnes? Found this random French site, and it had a few Nemos on, and the prices were slashed like crazy, but it didn't have the Hornet Elite. It had sold out because the prices were fantastic. So rather than spend £500 on ultralight outdoor gear on the Nemo Hornet Elite, I changed tact and saw this. That wouldn't have included the footprint, by the way. That would be like an extra 50 quid. So 550 quid. I went for a £300, £300 Nemo Dragonfly, which includes the price of the footprint. I just felt like I wasn't ready to drop that 500 odd pound bomb on a Big Agnes, or to overpay for the tent that I really did want. So I got a Nemo Hornet Dragonfly. Have any of you had one of those? Do you like them? How about you only tell me the positives, because it literally took me 72 hours to find this tent. And if anyone destroys this stream for me, no, it's fine, just tell me. But yeah, the checking back, the Nemo Dragonfly is £2.20 with the footprint. So that is considerably lighter than the Hennessy hammock that I had without an underquilt. God knows how much it would have weighed with an underquilt, which would have kept me warm. To be fair, stopped me freezing to death, but I would have broken my back. So yeah. Sorry if you can hear ambulances. I think there was a thunderstorm earlier, so everyone was like, ah. So yeah, that's my Dragonfly. Sure, I can get it a bit smaller than this. That seems like quite a generous bag. I also upgraded my hiking poles. My original hiking poles were, I don't even know what they were. Someone just sent me them for free because they liked that I was doing the AT, which was super cute. But they didn't collapse. You had to pull the string through and then tie it and Velcro. So they just always stayed up, especially as the string became slacker and slacker over time, because you're like pulling it taut and it stretches and doesn't flex back. So yeah, they just ended up being taped. The string ended up being taped further and further down the poles. They were light, and they served me well, and I'm forever grateful for the person who just sent me them out of the goodness of their heart. But yeah, I've bought some Leki poles. I bought I can never remember which way the letters are around. Makalu. They're very light. They are, I want to say, 500 grams for the both of them. I'm sorry, I don't know that in ounces. But yeah, they're so light. They're amazing. Really nice. Got them really cheap off eBay. Just a dude that said he used them once and just doesn't use them now. So that has me buzzing. Yeah. Oh. Sorry if I'm looking back and forth. I always forget which way the camera is, and then I get distracted by my face. Yeah, so I've got those. And oh, my Sawyer. I did have a Sawyer squeeze, but I got giardia at one point on the trail, and I don't know. I'm quite sure I got that at one of the hostels. Won't name names, but I'm pretty sure I know where I got it. But just in case there was anything the matter with the filter, I just bought a new Sawyer because I want to be able to drink wherever. But I got a micro Sawyer this time. Apparently it's good for 100,000 gallons. So I went for the micro instead of the mini because apparently the water flow out of the mini is not fantastic. It's quite slow. I'm hoping this still has the same, you know, you can get a proper mouthful of water out of this one because it looks similar to the squeeze. It's just a bit stubbier. Yeah. Oh. Oh my god. I've got all of my food and stuff all over the floor because I'm just trying to set up what to take. So to counteract that I don't have hip belt pockets on my Z-Packs bag, I just got myself a little Columbia bum bag or fanny pack or whatever you want to call it, which is super lightweight and it tucks into itself. So I thought I'd just wear that to keep my, you know, my snacky snacks in, so I don't have to keep opening my bag, getting all that stuff out. And the final thing I got was some new hiking shoes. I went for the Salomon Alphacross Gor-Tex, which I can show you, but I balanced the camera on the box, which was a stupid idea. Dummy. I've got to get the shoe out. Oh my gosh. Yes, that didn't go well. Yeah, so the final, I think it's the final new thing I've got. Yeah, is these Salomons. They are the Alphacross. You can get an Alphacross, which are just like an everyday running shoe, but for trails, and you can get an Alphacross Gore-Tex version. So I went for the Gore-Tex version because it does rain a lot in this country, and especially in wee bonny Scotland. So I thought I'd go for these. I went up 0.5 of a size. I haven't actually tried them on yet because they just got delivered, but I'm hoping that they're going to work well. They're going to fit okay. I'll probably have some chunkier, chunkier socks than what I wear every day. And I had to go up half a size with my other Solomons that I hiked the AT with. They look great. Nice and grippy and quite solid on the bottom, and yeah, so I'm hoping they're going to work well. The blades aren't too big. I don't like that because I feel like you can slip if you stand on rock, so hopefully that'll be good. Yeah, and then I just sort of not necessarily ran out of funds per se, but I just thought I have really bought too much stuff. So my next things that I would love to buy on my dream upgrade list are a new sleeping bag, because my current sleeping bag is so bulky and so heavy. It probably packs to probably bigger, yeah, it probably packs to about this size. It's bulky as hell. And I know that they can be a bit generous with their comfort ratings as it is, but I feel like this one is pretty generous with the comfort rating, again because I sleep quite cold. I think I could do with something a bit better quality. I had to kind of buy a fleece liner which I use with it, and then that adds extra bulk and extra weight. So yeah, in an ideal world I would get a new bag, or a quilt really. I would love to have a quilt, an enlightened equipment, a quilt to be specific. Yeah, that's a great question actually. Does her, I mean, they seem like really popular quilts. Do any of you have enlightened equipment quilts? What fill power do you use? Did you buy the ones where you pull the string for the toe box, or did you get the one with the sewn up toe box so you can never open it? I do quite like the idea of pulling the cord so that you can fully open it up into a quilt. Let me know. My second thing that I would love to buy is, I currently have a C2 Summit pad, which it's okay, it's all right, it's fine, it's fairly warm. It's just not really quite thick enough, especially because I tend to sleep on my side. I've tried to get into the practice in bed of like sleeping on my back a bit more, and I can fall asleep like that now. So hopefully it won't bother me too much on this hike. But yeah, I would definitely like to get a Neo Air at some point. I've noticed they've got some new ultra light Thermarest Neo Airs out. What do you think of those? Or do you just keep the good old fashioned lemony one? Or have you gone for the ultralight? That would be great feedback as well. I think that's everything. Yeah, so I'm just really excited now to get out and get going and get back into the wild a bit and reconnect with nature. Being cooped up in quarantine has been a real trip. So yeah, it'll be great. Let me know if you have any questions. I'm gonna just probably do a couple of videos while I'm out there. I don't know if anyone really gives a crap, but I'll do it anyway. Keeps me entertained. Yeah, thanks for watching. Feels good to be back.